It's a defense mechanism. Feed me. It's a distraction.
All right.
Like, I swear, I don't remember what I was talking about.
I'm gonna go ahead and butcher this. So, we were discussing back and forth my take on the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Okay, in our little group chat. I did not hate watch the first episode.
Okay.
I watched it, and I watched it. The moment I was taken out of it is when, spoiler alert, is when the final episode culminates or whatever with the assassination or the notification of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. That's how the first episode ends. And I'm like, so we're retelling this story again of.
I mean, I think that was a pivotal point in that time.
I'm not saying it wasn't.
No, but I think it's for us in our generation. We know the story.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
This whole story perspective has been told from so many different angles. And it's like, it's not the, disrespect the legacy of MLK. It was a super pivotal moment. It's just like the feeling of here we go again. I understand that.
Got more than one hero in the book, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I
understand that.
And I gave you a very nice premise of what you could have used, of where you could have told a story that would have connected
They could have did it in the 90s with the Rodney King riots.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
With our generation, I said you could have told it with the Rodney King riots, the OJ verdict.
You could have did it with the Gen 6 shit that happened in the late 2000s.
The Kuwait War, even the Gen 6 shit. Anything.
The year 2000. You could have did it on the year 2000.
To tell an up-to-date story, bada bing, bada boom. You have a generation. I'm not saying that this generation won't be interested in it, but I doubt it.
So you're saying that they should have made it something closer to
modern time, perhaps.
But then would it have been the same show? It would have been something completely different.
I think that's the thing about the Wonder Years. Like, when I took a step back, I thought about your point about what you were saying. And it was more so, like how we said earlier, it's a pivotal time. So as long as there's something like the OJ, the OJ trial, that happened when I was in middle school. It wasn't super pivotal, like, it shaped my whole fucking life. But that was the first time I really saw two sides of something. And two opposing sides. And I saw a lot of hateful things said. I saw a lot of weird tension. I saw a lot of people prejudging based on what they felt. And I saw people, and I'm gonna be honest, I saw poor winning.
Yeah.
And it's like all of those things was kind of like,
oh, that stuff that Chris Rock talked about.
Yeah, it was like, like it was really, and it really made you aware of like the situation. And it's like, you got to know how to sit there and record. But like being an adult, I've dressed that. Somebody said something about the OJ trial. I was like, bro, I had a math test the next day. I didn't fucking care. I was trying to get through that test. I was in fucking 6th grade or 7th grade. But it's just the time frame in which I can understand that it being pivotal. And the MLK angle, it's not to say that the story doesn't deserve to be told. It's been told so many times.
That's all I'm saying.
Like, if they would have centered around Malcolm X, that'd have been crazy.
I get it. I just think that they were just trying to keep the integrity of the timeline to literally just put it into another set of eyes, to show it through another set of eyes.
The first one was set around the Vietnam War, wasn't it?
Exactly. This is almost the same time frame. So who are you reaching out to now to tell this story?
Yeah.
I guess anyone that'll listen.
I'm sorry.
How many episodes have they done so far?
This one.
Just one?
It was a pilot episode.
Yep. So I guess like now it sets up where the story gets told, but there is a huge potential letdown because this is done in around the same time frame as the original, and B, the gap.
Okay, real quick, to compare the beginnings of the first and second episode, the first episodes of the originals. of the Wonder Years. The end of the first episode, it ended with notification that Winnie Cooper's, Kevin's crush, brother was killed in Vietnam.
Wendy Cooper's brother.
Yeah, was killed in Vietnam. You find out the main character's crush, her brother was killed in Vietnam in the Vietnam War. You can ask a question, yo, what's Vietnam? You can talk, because at that time, the audience, like I said in the text message, the audience,
lived through it.
They could have centered. If they really wanted maximum effect, they could have centered around 9/11. They really could have.
I'm talking about then.
No, but I'm saying like.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. It's like there was no reason for this retelling, reboot, whatever you want to call it, to take place when it did. Who was it reaching out to? Yeah. Who's the audience? Please tell me, who's the audience?
I don't know who the target. Yeah,
I mean, it could range from
black.
Obviously, but it could range from the generation that grew up watching the show.
Here's the thing, though. I've already watched it. If I want to watch the black version of the Wonder Years, I'll watch everything. Chris? Everybody loves Chris. Everybody hates Chris.
Which was a dope telling of it because it was done in the 80s, which was more comparable.
Yeah.
Same premise, different era, but it made it more comparable.
They stepped it up. Yep. They made it more recent. They loved it. It went on for so many seasons
and everything, and Rocky,
all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Boom, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Same with the Goldbergs. They're reaching out to a certain audience. Who is this show for the 1960s reaching out to in 2021?
Because it makes you ask: is this a scenario where some white people decided they're going to do what's best for black people, and there's just going to be a weird, like it's going to fail, like because it's disingenuous, like.
Do I want it to succeed? Yes. I don't need another retelling of black people's struggle in the South during the 60s. I've heard the stories my entire life now.
Yeah. No, I get that because I always talked about the show Burn Notice. I talked about the show Burn Notice, and I was like, I like the premise of this show because you can take somebody else and take the same concept, a spy who gets burned, and now they got to go live where they're from.
I'm sorry, real quick. Look at it like this. I've heard my parents' story. Tell mine now. Can you look at it like that?
Yeah, or tell the generation right before me, or tell the generation right after me.
If I want to hear a black story, tell me a black story about like how it was in the 90s, 80s, whatever.
You could have centered this around Tupac or Biggie being killed.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, you got Eazy-E dying.
You had a plethora.
You could have did this
black people's struggle
that has happened. Yeah.
But you chose to. Hey, let me go back. That goes back to the whole way. There's more choices between slavery and MLK.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No, you're in that regard. Yeah,
so the fact that you decided to end for your premiere episode for this spectacular reboot that had everybody in the comments crying.
We've seen, we get MLK, we get it, we get who he was and what he meant. But do people realize that we've seen this man die so many fucking times?
Right.
Like every time y'all talk about him, he dies again. Like y'all couldn't let this man live, so you keep killing him. It's like that's really what it starts to feel like. Like pick somebody else, not Jesse Jackson.
And I'm not saying I don't like stories from that age because I love One Night in Miami. Mm-hmm. Great movie. I never heard that story before.
Well, we love the Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, it was a new story. I hadn't heard it before. Tell me it. I don't mind.
Even Ali, when Ali was around that time frame with Will Smith when he did that movie, they told it in just a way that was dope. When Chadwick Boseman did Get On Up and the way he passed, like when he passed in when MLK passed and he was performing in Boston, like that was my favorite scene in the movie. We are black. We supposed to represent ourselves better than this. Like that whole he barked on the crowd and got people to chill out and they went back to having a good time and they acted with class and dignity and it was like in a time where it was fucking tense. And it was, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's just I am tired of seeing MLK continuously die. Like give me somebody else.
I mean, they didn't show it, but they just announced it.
Yeah, but it's like
for whatever reason they chose to have the white person give him the news. I think that was funny because it was because it was Kevin. It was I keep wanting to say Kevin, the updated Kevin. I think his name was Dean. Who named?
In that time frame, yeah, 50. He was born in 56. Yeah, Dean is the thing.
There was even black kids Dean back then.
I'm a black kid named Keith.
I know a lot of black Keiths,
but there was a time
Keith
when
Sweat, my guy.
But when it wasn't normal, so like
Keith from Good Times,
but
the ultimate light skinned Keith.
Oh, you sound like I challenged his title. Just like,
I'm just saying.
The ultimate.
Nigga broke his leg walking down the aisle. Blaming JJ.
All right, before we get any more.
That's why you didn't go to the NFL. Okay.
All right, but yeah, now getting back to it, I haven't watched it, but I'm still going to give it a watch and, try to give it a fair assessment. And I have to watch the second episode to see where it goes.
You let me know.
Yeah, because it's kind of like what you said about the He-Man shit. That could be the first episode, and it's like, nope, this is it. But then it goes where it goes from there.
Well, like I
said, the rest of the series was about not this. It was completely about all other shit. So that's what I kind of had to check with that. That's if it makes it to a second episode. If the reviews are not good or whatever, I don't know.